Okay, we have a two-part assignment here today. In the first part, we're going to be solving the systems by graphing, and then the second part, we're not going to have a graph, we'll solve by substitution. So, there's the first problem. 2x minus 2y equals 4, and then we have x minus y equals 6. So if I have to graph the equations on the same plane, I want to separate the equations on a table. 2x minus 2y equals 4, and then x minus y equals 6. So I make a line on the y side of the equation, and the y is not by itself, okay? So we have to rewrite the equation so the y is by itself. So you can continue to write down here. I'm going to go onto the scratch paper so you can see what I'm doing. Now if I did have y by itself, I would just, you can just stay tight there. And here's what you do. You want to mark the y, okay? If it's negative, you have to do a sign switch because later that number becomes the run on the slope. And you don't want your run to be negatives. We don't want to go backwards. So that goes from positive to negative. That goes from negative to positive. That goes from positive to negative. So you add 2x. Then you make a 0x and add 2x there. So you have 2 times y, then you put x down, 0 plus 2 is 2, plus negative 4. Then I'm going to divide all these by 2, and that ends up being 1x plus negative 2. So mb, so m is the slope, b is the y-int. So slope is 1 over 1, and then negative 2 is a y-intercept. So I would graph negative 2 on the y-axis, and then from there I would go forward 1, up 1. Now obviously you can do that for a while, but 3 is good enough, you get the idea. Okay. Now, in the other equation, okay, the y is negative, so you're going to want to put you're going to have to do the sign switch there too. So negative, positive, negative. Then I add 1x, and then I make a 0x and add 1x there. 1 times y, and I put x, 0 plus 1 is 1, and then plus the negative 6. Now you can divide by 1. Nothing really changes when you divide by 1, but I'll just do it, okay? And I've got m and b. So slope is 1 over 1, and the y-intercept is negative 6, okay? So negative 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the slope is the same as this one, so it's going to be parallel. It's going to not have a solution. It's going to be no solution. So you go up 1, forward 1, up 1, forward 1. And yeah, that's a no solution because, take your ruler, because they had the same slope. So no, excuse me, solution. Parallel. Okay, now the next one, this one's not going to take as much time. Y equals negative x plus 3, and then y equals 3 over 2x minus 2. So this one, the y is by itself, so I put a 1 there, so I have m and b. So the slope is negative 1 over 1, and the y-int is plus 3. So I don't really have to do much work there. So plus 3, then from that point, you go forward 1, down 1. Okay, you take a ruler, and make the line. Okay, now the next one, same deal, slope's right there, 3 over 2 this time. And the y-int is negative 2. So I go down 2, I go forward 2, up 3. So up 3, forward. Okay, you're already going to have a point there. So they definitely cross. We already know where they cross. Just got to label the crossing point correctly. And my solution, okay? So forward 2, so you're right 2, positive 1, positive 2. Then you're up 1, okay? 2, 1. Or you could go up first, but then that'd be your y, okay? Okay, and then my last one, y equals 2x minus 3, and then we have 6x minus 3y equals 9. Okay, now here are the y's by itself. Here it's not. So I'm gonna graph this one right here, okay? Because I don't have to do no work. Well, I have to do some work. So it'd be 2 over 1, and then minus 3 is your y-intercept. So remember, -1, -2, -3. And from there I go forward 1, up 2. And you take your ruler and make your line. Okay, then in my other equation, obviously that wasn't set to go, so I'm going to write on scratch. You guys can continue to just write it down here. So the goal is to get the y by itself, plus negative, okay, minus 6x, and then you put a 0x and minus 6x from there. So you got, oh shoot, I forgot to switch the signs. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Okay. Redo it. Okay. You do not want to ignore that. Otherwise your slope's going to be all jacked up. So that was a negative, you got to switch. Negative, positive, negative. Now the reason that makes such a big deal because I don't minus 6x, I add 6x. So I line up my equals, I drop my 3 times y. 0 plus 6 is 6, plus negative 9. Then you divide by 3. So it's 2x plus negative 3. This looks familiar, okay? So slope would be 2 over 1, and the y-int would be negative 3. Ooh, I just did that. Up 2 over 1, up 2, that's an IMS, obviously. Since these are the exact same equation, just written in different formations. Okay, then in the second part here today, we are solving by substitution, okay? We have these two equations, 4x plus 2y equals 7, and then y equals 5x. We're not going to graph them though. So far, the only way I've taught you is to look for a base variable, and you have one here. So that's your base, equal to 5x. So I write the off-base equation, 4x plus 2y equals 7. So I remove the y, because that's my base. I have an equivalent of that of 5x. So 4x plus 2, parentheses 5x, equals 7. Now, you're going to distribute, but it's just one distribution, okay? Because you don't have the plus in that parentheses. See, the x already has a 5 in front of it. So it's just 2 times 5x, and that'd be 10x, okay? Because I'll have a lot of people, it drives them nuts not having that plus. Well, that just means it's one multiplication you make. Then plus your 4x. Okay, now again, the x is on the same side. We add them, so 14x equals 7. The answer to that's not 2, guys. 14 times 2 is not 7. going to be a decimal less than a whole. That's how you multiply a number by 14 and end up smaller. Okay, 7 divided by, so you watch, it ain't 2. There's only 14 times 2 is 7, dude. 0.5. Remember, I'm fine with decimals as long as they're not those ones where you have to round, okay? Okay, let's find the y. Y equals 5x. Let's use that one because that's got the y all by itself because 0.5 isn't going in for x. And y equals 5 times 0.5. So solving for the y, well, y is by itself, okay? So I just circle the other side and conduct the operation. Just times, I don't have a number to add. 2.5. Okay, there's your answer. Or a half and 2.5. Okay, next problem. 4x plus 2y equals 8, and then y equals 2x plus 1. So we definitely have a base right there, equal to 2x plus 1. So write your off base. And the y is my base this time, or it was last time too. Sometimes x is it, and that equals 2x plus 1. Now at this point, make sure you got the same letter, x and x. You do, so you're good. So 4x plus 2. Parentheses 2x plus 1 equals 8. Again, whatever's up top there now goes into the parentheses. Okay, so I will be distributing the 2. Now this time there is a plus in the parentheses, so that's 2 multiplications to 2x and to 1. So it's 2x and, or 4x, excuse me, and 2. And then add 4x. Okay, 4 plus 4 is 8. So it does have a solution. So 8 times x plus 2, take out the plus 2. So 8 times x is 6. So again, I'm expecting to get a decimal less than a whole. That's how you multiply a number by 8 and wind up at 6. Some people question that, like, how's that? Well, when you take a whole number times a decimal less than 1, that whole number shrinks. So x is 0.75. Now to find the y, use the equation that's got the y by itself. Y equals 2x plus 1. So Mr. X, you go out, and 0.5 is in its place. So now we have y equals 2 times 0.75 plus 1. Now again, the letter's by itself. So when the letter's by itself, I keep it by itself and just do the operations on the other side. You want to times first, always times first, and then add the 1. 2.5. Okay. Then 2 more. X plus 2y equals 68. X equals 8y minus 12. So if I make a wall there, you're not going to have a letter by itself. If I make a wall there, I do. Okay, nice. So write your other one, x plus 12y equals 68. Guys, you're going to be in a world of hurt if you don't put the 1 there. Okay. The reason why that's especially important because that's the one I replace. I need a multiplier by the parentheses, so that is 8y plus negative 12. So I got 1, then I make a parentheses and put 8y plus negative 12. Now I know I'm multiplying these by 1. After the parentheses we have plus, we have 12y equals 68. Okay, I distribute the 1. $8y and 12. So it's 8y and 12, okay? drop your plus 8y, 12, because you're just multiplying them by 1, plus 12y. Okay, so what happens with my y's? Well, it's going to be 20y plus 12 equals 68. Whoa, shoot. That was a negative 12. I missed that. Okay, it's negative 12. 1 times negative 12 is negative 12. Okay, so I'm going to add 12. That's 80. Then I divide by 20, and I get 4. Y equals 4. Okay, now we solve for x. So we use the one where x is by itself. So x equals 8y plus negative 12. And 4 goes in for y. We're not solving for y, we already had that. So x equals 8 times 4 plus negative 12. Okay. So the letter we want is by itself already. We just need to find what that equals. So 8 times 4, 32, plus negative 12 is 20. 20 and 4 are the solutions. Okay, last problem. Negative 3x plus y equals negative 5, and then 3x minus y equals 5. Now, if I make a wall there, I'm not going to have a letter by itself, or there. So find the equation that's got a letter that doesn't have a multiplied number. You definitely don't want to pick x, okay? I would pick this one here. I don't want to pick this one because a minus is actually a plus negative 1. Okay, so you don't want any part of that. So we'll write that equation on scratch paper. And then I'm going to rewrite it to get that y by itself. Again, you want to use a top one because that's got a plus in front of it. A minus in front of it means it has a multiplier of negative 1. This would have a multiplier of positive 1 if I put it, okay? But I'm not going to put it. And then I add 3x, make a 0x, and add 3x there. So y equals 3 plus negative 5. So cross that one out and write y equals 3x plus negative 5. That's the same equation, I just rewrote it so I would have a base to work from. Okay. So the off base is 3x plus negative 1y equals 5, and the y is my base, so that's one I replace with 3x plus negative 5. So I got 3x plus negative 1, then I get to my parentheses and I have 3x plus 5, and then I'm equal to 5. Okay, then it's just distribution time. There's your plus, so you know you got to multiply by two things. Okay. Plus negative 3x and negative 5. Now you got to add the 3x that was already there, because that's gone, but I add. So combine my x's, and that's 0. 0x plus negative 5 equals positive 5. 0x goes away. So it's either an all solution or a no solution. Negative 5 and 5 are not the same number. That's a no solution. Okay, they have to be the same.